Breaking news from William Rochelle. Breaking news from William Rochelle. I said, breaking news from William Rochelle. I said, breaking news from William Rochelle. Yeah, breaking news from William Rochelle. Living direct, here we go. Breaking news from William Rochelle. This is something you should know. This just in, don't miss the call. Your moments now, stand tall. This just in, here to tone your mind sharp, your future grown. Breaking news from William Rochelle. Breaking news from William Rochelle. I said, breaking news from William Rochelle. I said, breaking news from William Rochelle. This just in, thought of the day, fresh new mindset coming your way. This just in, clear and bright, new perspective, new life. Breaking news from William Rochelle.
Good evening, everybody. It's breaking news, and I am William Rochelle. So let's get right to the highlights. Today's top headlines. The U.S. is facing growing concerns about falling behind in technology and infrastructure, especially in the global AI race. National debt has reached historic levels, and with interest payments alone now costing the country over $1 trillion a year. Not laying blame with anybody, just saying what's going on. Millions of Americans across the country in the Midwest and West are under winter weather alerts, impacting travel and daily life. That's the snapshot. Now let's move on to what's happening in celebrity news. Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu, you guys remember them? Bringing back major Charlie's Angels nostalgia back into the spotlight. They just reunited, and let's see what's going to happen. Miley Cyrus is trending after debuting her engagement ring, setting off conversations across the music, fashion, and pop culture. Those are the quick headlines for today. Now for an important announcement that I'd like to make to everyone out there listening. Breaking news will be shifting its focus on, let me go back. For the next 10 days, breaking news will be shifting its focus. And we want to highlight and support small business, community businesses, and community voices from now through the end of the year. We are highlighting entrepreneurs, local leaders, creators, and people doing meaningful work in their communities. If you want to be featured, here's how to raise your hand. If you're on LinkedIn, send me a message or an email and include the words breaking news. I get tons of emails every single day. So I can filter through the word breaking news. That means you want to be highlighted. If you're on YouTube, you can leave a comment under this video with the words breaking news. That's it. It's simple. We'll research you. We'll figure out if it's a match. And I'm trying to get as many eyes and ears out there on the small businesses and what people are doing in the community, especially throughout this last phase of this year. And we'll see what we can do to get you spotlighted. And breaking news goes on whenever we want, not when a clock tells us to. And now let me tell you what's coming up tomorrow, Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm very excited. We are having part 2 of our women's rights, civil rights discussion. It's going to feature Leslie Flowers, and I'm going to introduce to you guys Carl Bromley. And we'll be talking about the women's rights movements, the civil rights movement, the history that's already been made, and the concerns we need to be aware of right now. This is about context, progress, and staying awake to where things are headed. And today we're kicking things off with Carl Bromley. So let's do this with Carl. Let's see if we can make that magic happen. Where's my executive remote producer? I don't have one. Hey, Carl.
Hey, Bill,
where's Aaron when you need him, right? I'm good, Carl. How are you? Pleasure to meet you, by the way.
I haven't met Aaron yet, but hey, I've met some of your family on your cousin to cousin show, and
Yes.
you got Bill and Bill and Bill, and Reese and Ryan.
Yes.
Good stuff, and and I'm looking at you talked about small business, and I look at your intros, and it's amazing that you don't spend thousands of dollars on professional talent to do that type of stuff. You do all that yourself?
I do with the help of digital media and AI and stuff like that. So AI is making it super easy to bring your vision to life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and that's one of the things that I find that I appreciate the most.
Mm-hmm.
It is a unique way to be able to package your vision
Mm-hmm.
and basically rebuild yourself. Anyway, I told you I'm not good at the script.
But the reason I love you, Bill, is because that you are spontaneous and you do that well.
Thank
So
you.
you depart from the script, and it's like, oh, sorry, audience, and we'll be back, and then you apologize to me. I have a chance to cover for you.
Yes.
Bill is the I love your intro that say where you're William Rochelle, but you can call me Bill. So I call you Bill.
Yes. So
And
only on breaking news am I William Rochelle.
But
But you can call me Bill. Go ahead.
I could call you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd really like to introduce you to William Rochelle, breaking news, the guru of breaking news. But anyway, I love where you're taking the show. Small businesses. I have been, I've got 50 plus years in the working world. Started problem solving I was a hobbyist before that. At age 14, my best friend and I devised a dam across my dad's creek, and it had raisable sluice gates. And our moment of infamy was when we had 3 inches of water on top of the district road. And the township supervisors came over and said, you have to take it out. Well, we just raised the gate and let the water level down. But, since my early 20s, I have been problem solving in one role or another. I helped a lady move from Western Pennsylvania back to Tulsa, Oklahoma. She told me she could find me a job real easily because her friend owned a box factory. We got to Tulsa. The box factory had closed 2 years before. Which led me.
Wait. So I'm sorry. You have to go back. So what do you mean? I'm confused a little bit.
Okay, so, I solved my own problem by finding one of my best jobs ever. Okay. I did 3 different job descriptions as a management trainee, but and there's just tons of stories if you have like 2 years extra, on your future calendar. But it was, flowing from one job description to another was just perfect for me. It fits my personality. I'm a college dropout. Although I had a stellar aptitude test, 99th percentile in a whole bunch of different engineering categories. But I've been a problem solver for 50 plus years, and I love helping small businesses not fall into potholes.
And what do you consider a pothole?
What's that?
What do you consider a pothole?
At a networking meeting where a young man is trying to tell a nonprofit executive director, a wannabe nonprofit executive, that she needs to get a grant of $9,000 and then spend $6,000 of it with him for him to do a video.
Okay.
And I quietly talked to her later and said there's easier ways to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So things like that. I have an Arizona inventor who needs an investor to develop functional prototypes. He's got it all in his brain. He's got it all in CAD drawings. It needs to be 3D printed. So if you have somebody in your circles that has a 3D printer and wants to be part of his adventure, I can hook them up.
Okay.
But other potholes.
Are you asking them to donate their time, or are you telling them that?
Well, okay. So my downfall in running my small business, I actually have two small businesses. I have Local for All Advertising, which started out online. I did my own C Corp registration in 2001. Took me 4 days because it was brand new in Pennsylvania. And their website wasn't completely debugged, and I was not completely educated. But over 4 days, I was able to register a C Corp. And then started building from there. In 2007, I had a chance to acquire a company that did paper placements in restaurants. And now I'm looking to develop that into a nationwide network. The hours can be very flexible. Telemarketing, if you do telemarketing within your own community where people know you, people can sit at home and dial the phone and not be considered spam, because small businesses need to get their word out of what they got where. So I've got restaurants in Western Pennsylvania, and through a lady who worked for me for a short time before medical necessity, she needed to go into retirement. And she arranged for me to work with one of her friends to take over the sales part of it. And so Moxie led to Linda, and now I have placemats at Nino's Pizzeria and Two Kings Restaurant in Chickasha, PA. So, those are the necessities. Last year, I was moved to officially create a DBA for myself. So I am now Carl Bromley, owner of Carl's Idea Hatchery, Logo Lab, and Business Incubator, because people in this area have said that we need a business incubator, and the people in local government are trying to get a grant to do a study, to get another grant to open up an incubator. When I heard that come around the table at me through introductions, I said, I'm here. So
I'm going to stop you for a second. So I know what an incubator is. Can you kind of explain to the audience what a business incubator?
Absolutely, and I'm delighted to have the opportunity. A business incubator will take you through the first steps of setting up a business. It'll go through a checklist, if you will, of things that you need to do. If you choose a name, you need to go and make sure it's not already registered in your state as a name. You can have the same name in a different state, but it leads to confusion. So if you can have a unique business name and a unique website, those are good things. That part of the education is part of it. Here in Pennsylvania, we have the small business development centers. I think there's 15 of them now. Penn State has a series of operations going on. I think it's in the 20s, the launch boxes. SCORE is nationwide, Service Corps of Retired Executives. Website is score.org. They have recorded videos of the first steps and the other parts of it that don't that aren't easily found without doing like 4 years of college.
Right.
So if you have a great idea, you don't want to do 4 years of college. You want to get it going. So I help with that happen. What is
your take on? Because you're in Pennsylvania. What is your take on college versus trade versus starting your own business versus manufacturing? Like what is your
and that is that's another place that I can go, because I did commercial construction in California for 15 years. I ran a
Mhm.
$10.5 million subcontract, federal building that they were doing seismic retrofitting, historic preservation, and adding. This was the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in San Francisco, and
Okay.
adding attorney space, workout rooms, things, the modern amenities. That was in the late 90s. But my part of that was $10.5 million. I started out as a project manager, which
Mhm.
is a non-union position, but my boss wanted me to do things that were in the union job description, and I said that would just jeopardize my pension. I'm not willing to do that.
Mhm.
And circumstances ended up where I was wearing my tool belt and supervising as a lead man on the job as a foreman. And so I had 15 years of that. Prototype window wall systems, an hour spent problem solving, an hour spent away from my assigned job, intentional on my part, because there were some things happening that didn't make sense. It's like there was a mistake in the windows and they were getting ready to ship. It turned out to be 720 window units across the Rocky Mountains. Probably would have cost them $50,000 plus delays. And I found out that they weren't paying attention to the code. That's where the engineering part
Mhm.
came in. And once I figured it out, found a lead man who would listen to me. Chris took me to the big boss. I explained what I found, and he said, "Carl, take 4 guys, any guys, and get the windows to where they're ready, to where they need to be. When you get
Yep.
a room ready, I've got guys just waiting for work to install them." So just little things like that. But going back to your question, would you repeat your question so I could try to give you a short, concise answer?
Absolutely. So the country is going
Oh,
in so
okay.
many different directions, right?
Trades versus college, etc.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, sometimes it just takes a few seconds for that to
Bro,
click back in.
I'll forget a thought in mid-sentence, like
Okay.
period. So don't worry about it. And
Okay.
yes, you just had to remind me to start my own show. So you guys, breaking news occurred because I was talking to my coach, Melissa Houston, which is why I didn't take the call at first, because I didn't recognize the number.
Okay.
So I'm going to save you in so you don't have to go through my little screening loop. By the way, what does it say when you call me? Because you got screened today. I don't even know what it said.
Okay. There were 2 different screening systems. One
Okay.
asked me to identify myself. It was obviously a AI approach, and they wanted to know if when I told them this is Carl calling Bill, then they would let you know. The other one was more like just a regular answering machine, rang 4 times, no answer, and so
and then you got me.
But both of them actually happened today. No, I actually hung up because I figured you were busy. You'd call me back if and when. I won't bother you going through 5 minutes of recorded voicemail to find out. Call me.
Yes, absolutely. I appreciated it, and I appreciate that. As you understand, I am very much into bulleted points. Like I get when it's long, I get lost. But what direction do you think we're going in, and what direction is right? And I think really the direction is right for your journey. So each there is no right or wrong, but is it worth it spending $100,000 to go to college and then paying back all that debt, or is it better to go into a trade?
For a lot of people, no, it's not worth that staggering debt. But there are an increasing numbers of trades jobs that you can sign up for an apprenticeship, and the classroom portion of that apprenticeship counts for a 4-year degree.
Okay.
So we have more and more of those. I know Slippery Rock University and Penn State are both well into that, and And then Penn United is one of the companies that has actually taken that to the next step, educating the public what this program is all about, and inviting the public in for open houses to see some of the students at work and learning and getting college credit at the same time. Advanced manufacturing is their forte, but then there are side distribution, supply chain management, things like that, where you can get a college degree and study and work, get paid for working simultaneously. And instead of a strict classroom environment, popping out with a piece of parchment or paper, but for the right people, those are valuable. A Penn State degree is so prized. They're in the top, I think they're in the top, maybe number 26 in the United States in terms of how important is that degree.
Right.
Now, Ryan was going to McGill, and Reese was going to, to Kansas State, and it's just like I loved, that part of interaction, including having both of their dads on the show too with you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was one of my favorite shows. This upcoming tomorrow, I think, is going to be one of my favorite shows.
Okay. I want to mention your intro.
Me and Aaron were really great, and
right.
And that was a game changer for me. It was. I was in a weird kind of, do I really want to keep doing this? And just partnering with someone, like just that just sharing that energy with someone else was spectacular, and it got me really re-engaged and re-energized into what we're doing today.
Good.
So, what's your passion right now? What's your passion project? I know that your faith is really, really a cornerstone in your life right now, and
well, and that has been for years too. Now, my passion is helping where I can, but I often get engaged in storytelling. And excuse me for just a second, little gas bubble came out there.
It's okay.
But and you said that part of your history was in the dating websites. Well, that's how my wife and I actually met in 2017. March 25th, there was a little thing that went across her screen that just had my profile a little bit. There was one click. I'm interested in you. There's me on my typewriter, on my keyboard. Are you a real person or a robot? Because I know that we do those types of things. Okay. So we chatted keyboard to keyboard for a while. Then we got on the phone. One of the phones died. That's it for that evening. Next evening, we talked more. The third evening, we talked more. The 3 days after we met online, we met in person. I call that red letter day number 2. The next day, she didn't run away. So that's red letter day number 3.
And she hasn't run away yet.
She hasn't run away permanently yet.
So she did get out once.
And I just heard a comment from the living room. She's sitting in another room, but I heard a little bit, but I couldn't make it out. But anyway, there was one time I was at a networking meeting, writing a children's book, and I was talking with an editor. And the conversation went on a little bit too long, and Jane started walking out of the parking lot. The next thing I see, she's at the far end of the parking lot. She's approaching a bridge that has no sidewalks here in Western Pennsylvania. Some of the bridges are still like that. And it's like, I got to go. So I went and picked her up, and, she has walked away. And but she's never been absent permanently. And, one of my claims to fame is I've never been lost permanently. Driving around Chicago, I went around the loop 3 times before I realized that it was a loop.
A loop?
Say the same sign, third time. So I got off and found my way. Philadelphia has some tricky spots. Pittsburgh has a lot of tricky spots.
Where have you lived?
Here in Western Pennsylvania, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Ely, Nevada. I was on an oil rig working for a while.
Wow.
quite dangerous. I had
Yes.
two industrial accidents that within 60 days, and I decided my health is worth more than my paycheck. So I took my paycheck, flew home, took my second car, which is a '68 Dodge Charger, drove that out west, and
Do you still have it?
no. It gave up. I inherited my dad's Park Avenue as the years progressed, and that one was, subject to Pennsylvania rust. But I met my first wife in Southern California. I was looking for more oil field work. Ended up working in the shipyards down there, and then eventually found and married my first wife. Had a daughter. We moved up to San Francisco to be closer to her family, actually the lower East Bay,
Nice.
Hayward and Newark. But anyway, just those different places. In the late '90s, I found my way back to Pennsylvania because I think this is where God wants me to be. So
Good.
I'm
How are things in Pennsylvania right now, in general?
cold. 2 nights ago, 8 degrees. Last night, 18 degrees. So we didn't have to, worry quite as much about pipes freezing. But yeah, taking the dog out for a walk. I'm ready to come back anytime Bailey is.
I was in Dallas once. I lived in Dallas once, and my dogs weigh like 110 pounds each, 115. It's 200 pounds worth of dog, over 200. And I'm from Los Angeles, so I don't deal with snow. And Dallas has what you call black ice.
Yeah.
And I had no clue. So I'm walking outside. These two dogs are pulling me on black ice. I'm just like sliding, and I'm like, oh my God, I've never dealt with anything like this before.
Well, I was actually driving too slow for black ice one time because it was a banked corner, and at the top of the hill. This is back in high school days. I had two of my sisters in the back seat, and I slowed down to a complete stop at the top of the hill, knowing there was probably black ice on the hill. And I started going down as slow as I could. I actually slid sideways off of the bank, and I clipped the guy wire off the telephone pole. It wrapped around the car, broke out the back window, put a 2-inch deep crease across the top of the roof. If it had been a convertible, one or more of us could have been dead.
Yeah.
But driving too slow. If I'd been driving a little bit faster, the centrifugal force would have kept us up on the roadway.
They see every day. This is why you come to Breaking News with William Rochelle, because you're going to walk away with some information. Are you ready for tomorrow? We're talking about
yes.
Oh,
Leslie Flowers, the women's rights, the civil rights, the intro for last week's show should be a must watch because there was so much.
Wait till you see tomorrow.
Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait.
The reason why, because I Leslie and I decided to do that. I think just a few days before. She was doing a show, and Friday night, she was doing something, and we kind of connected. So that was really like put together super fast. I thought it was good, but it was put together super fast. I've had 10 days to think about it. And so
now the
tomorrow
shows up.
You always want to up your game, right? You don't want to be better than anyone else. You want to be better than you were last week, right? So that's how I gave myself.
Bill is upping his game. William Rochelle is upping his game. Breaking news.
No, tomorrow I'm Bill, so you could say Bill.
Okay.
But
hopefully we could take the same audience from here into the next one, because I've got lots of good stories, and there's lots of good people that I'm working on helping. An inventor in Arizona, lady who is possibly it's a possible real estate investment in Port Arthur, Texas. I can't give you the details I mean, I could give you the details. I used to be in real estate mortgages when construction was slow. Did a couple jobs that were eye-opening to a guy who had been in the business 17 years. He says, "I didn't know you could do that. You ought to try reading the manuals."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So So anyway, we could talk more about those on other shows. But
Absolutely. But for tomorrow, there's been so much evolution and growth, yet we're at a very pivotal moment. Um, are you ready?
mhm.
Okay.
I'm ready. Oh
All
yeah.
right. So I'm going to be 100% engaged. We will not probably. Hopefully Carl will do it, but I will not be focused on the comments because I'm going to be focused on the topic and the speakers and making sure everyone is heard. This is not a this is more of a passion show for me. I'm passionate about the subject than it is just a show. Tomorrow's.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I'm not a woman. Carl's not a woman.
Well, but civil
but we can
rights, you're engaged in that. Yeah.
but we can support. We can be allies, and I think every community out there needs an ally. And for that, I'm thankful that you have agreed to come on to share your perspective, and your perspective doesn't need to be mine.
Well, my mother was actually the most influential person in my growing up years, and I mean, every week at church, she could play the organ or the piano or be the choir director, whichever wasn't covered by other people who were there. So she would just switch on the spur of the moment. So will I. I do what's needed when needed, and I love it. I claim to have the heart of a woman in the body of a man.
There you go.
I love myself this way.
There you go.
I'll help who I can, where I can. One of my previous advertising customers, Brenda, pay me if and when you can.
That's fantastic. That's a very giving spirit. But at times, that giving spirit needs to be supported himself. So how are you supporting yourself? What are you doing? And I know you don't have to go into detail, but I do know that you have a website and you have a product line, apparel line. Kind of remind me of.
Okay. Well, the website that has my e-commerce set up, it's in WooCommerce with a couple plugins added. One is to have an affiliate program so people can eventually sell my shirts and get paid for doing that. But it's at luckyduck57.com. So luckyduck57.com. And in the top menu, there's the word shop, which has submenus off of it. If you click on the t-shirts or the sweatshirts, you'll see unique designs. A child's laugh is proof that God exists. That the heart of a woman exists is proof that God exists. More blessed than lucky. So I've got some things, here is one of my inventions that's not on the website, but
always come prepared. Go ahead.
the affirmation on the front of it has, "Today I lit a match, but I did not
raise it up a little bit because actually, let me do this.
Find the camera.
Wait.
Let me get closer.
No. Okay. I got you.
Okay.
Today I will not.
Today I lit a match, but I did not light a cigarette.
Okay.
So there's a slot across the top, 40 thousandths thick, because a paper match will fall over if it's any wider than that. A Dremel saw blade is 60 thousandths, so that doesn't work. But I actually taught an Amish woodworking shop how to set up a jig with their bandsaw so they could do consistent cuts with their bandsaw at a certain place and only a 1/4 inch deep.
Nice.
So, advanced manufacturing for them to have a jig. But it's one of those things. There's a little place on the back where we could have advertising. I mean, we could put breaking news on the back of it, and breaking news by William Rochelle.
That's nice. I'd love that. That would be cool.
Yeah. So I had a patent pending on it, and the benefit of that is I let it expire because of the expense of it. But I filed it myself, and then I let it expire. It means that nobody else can patent it and block. They can't block me, and they can't block other people from producing these things. So I would like to automate it, the production more, and refine it. I'm working on a new company, startup company will be number 3 for me. 3.5 women. Having 5 women in the boardroom, 2 men. And the reason for the 5 women is because any one of them can say the word veto on a very, very bad idea. They can help set pricing. They can help do marketing, things that are instinctive to women, multitasking. And for me, it's like jump from one to another, but they're not all coordinated. And I'm mildly colorblind, so colors. I had my wife, pick out different things for different programs. And
what do you mean you're colorblind?
The finer shades of red and green are elusive. My brother and I both have that trait. He wanted to be in the Air Force in electronics, but back in the days of transistors and resistors, the only way you could spot a defective transistor is when they turn color. So
Right.
He washed out of that, got into physical therapy, and I never had that particular aspiration. But I did ask a friend of mine. I said, Ray, I'll use his first name only right now, but Ray, why don't I see any patents, in the patent and trademark database with your name on it? He worked for the DoD, graduated from Penn State in engineering, worked for the Department of Defense. And he says, I got plenty of patents with my name on it, but you'll never see them. They're classified.
Okay. All right.
But he and I used to sit side by side in typing class. Thank God for Mrs. Bertamini in typing class in my senior year. But I had a magnetic chess set setting on my right leg, on mid thigh, and I would lead it out from underneath the desk whenever the teacher wasn't looking. We would play chess, and whenever she came to the front of our row, I would just twist my knee in, and the chess set was completely hidden from her sight. And but we both did well in typing, and it's nice knowing the QWERTY keyboard and being able to type two-handed and things like that. So
yeah,
many blessings in life.
Absolutely.
William Rochelle, what is your time frame for the breaking news show?
It's 15, but it's gone to 37 minutes, but it's okay. Okay. Quick question. So what I want to remind everyone about is that if you are a small business owner, if you are making a difference in the community, I want to spotlight you on breaking news, and I want to get the word out there about you. Today is about Carl Bromley because he is going to live history with us tomorrow, and I wanted to get him introduced to our community. But also at the same time, one of the things I'd like is to get the assets from you after this that you want to share tomorrow, so I can make sure that LuckyDuck57.com is already on there, and the banners and all the stuff that we need in order to get you highlighted and to help you get to where not just to be like a supportive talking head, but also I really want to make sure that once people meet and hear you, that they want to go and support you.
Okay, and I just put my LinkedIn profile into the chat.
Perfect.
So that's up there, and
so it doesn't look like so you put it in the chat. So it doesn't look like any of our LinkedIn notes are funneling over to.
Okay, interesting. So anyway, it's just LinkedIn.
No,
.com.
if you put it in
Okay.
the notes, it probably is on LinkedIn. Can you see it?
I don't have a LinkedIn window open
Oh,
because
okay.
I've got StreamYard open.
Okay. All right. All right. No
But
problem.
anyway, we'll check it out later. But we got a long time and many minutes of sharing ideas. I want to make sure that the women's rights and the civil rights are covered tomorrow.
Yep.
I just found a group and reached out to the co-founder, White Men for Racial Justice.
Mm,
And so I know they have a thing up on their website for people to help them keep their infrastructure going. Well, I've got some ideas for them too. So anyway,
actually, that's really something that we should share tomorrow
Mhm.
too. Again,
I will.
because
Yes.
that will be a much larger audience.
Mhm.
This is kind of like a pre-show, and I want to get that message out, especially what you just said, because there's a myth that's being told to us that white men are afraid of civil rights, and or equal rights for women. And you just said there's a whole website that says,
Well, there's a website and there's a LinkedIn group, and then they have their organization. Now the LinkedIn group is 77 members, but they have a profile that, or they want you to accept their message at the first level, get educated to level 2, go to level 3, go to level 4, donate or not donate. That doesn't seem to be an issue, but they're being careful to make sure that I know that I wouldn't want to have a target on my back.
right,
And so everybody in this world now needs to be a little bit careful of what you say where. And but fortunately, there were some people who took those steps where their passion led them into danger. Martin Luther King is one of the notable examples.
yep, you're
But
stealing my show for tomorrow.
I'll let you repeat it tomorrow.
No, I want you to repeat it tomorrow. We can't be repeating stuff. So we're gonna sign off.
Okay.
And I really, really enjoyed this. I'm really glad we took this time to pre-meet before the actual tomorrow. Tomorrow, oddly enough, I will probably be dressed exactly like Carl is today. But this is my breaking news outfit, so it makes me feel like a newscaster. Hey man, it's great to meet you. You're gonna hang on, right?
Yes.
We're gonna meet backstage because we need to talk about December 10th to get that all ironed out.
Yep.
And I want to make sure that I have everything in line so that you're comfortable with it tomorrow. Everyone out there, I want you to support local businesses. I want you to support small businesses, women-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses, gay-owned business. I don't care. If small businesses owned by Carl, it doesn't matter. Asian, whoever you are. Everyone out here is trying to make an impact in our lives right now. It's kind of hard to get ahead. So if we support each other, no matter who we are, and remember that we are the United States of America, not the divided, I think that we can do a lot more and we can make a bigger impact. So, Carl, did I do anything wrong? This is where I become Bill. I gotta take this jacket off. We're still live.
I know. I took a look. It's nice to see that at the top of the screen, so I don't misspeak. But no, as far as an introduction, I loved this too. I see you taking your jacket off, getting a little bit more casual, and because you and I will talk a little bit more backstage, and we can share more stuff. And there goes the tie.
There goes the tie. I can't see you now.
And we're wearing these. My wife calls me these my nerdy glasses, and I decided to wear those to part of my and the backwards hat. It's like salute to Bill, because in his other shows he has that going on.
That was what I wore in Reese and Ryan. You look just like me. We're twins.
No, not quite. You lucky guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're out. I'm going to sign off. Don't forget, we want you. We want to support you. We want to be there for you. And we love you. So with that said, we're going to take this offline. We'll see you all tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget.
Breaking news from William Rochelle. Breaking news from William Rochelle. I said, breaking news from William Rochelle. I said, breaking news from William Rochelle. Yeah, breaking news from William Rochelle. Living direct, here we go. Breaking news from William Rochelle. This is something you should know. This just in, don't miss the call. Your moments now, stand tall. This just in, here to tone your mind sharp, your future grown. Breaking news from William Rochelle. Breaking news from William Rochelle. I said, breaking news from William Rochelle. I said, breaking news from William Rochelle. This just in, thought of the day. Fresh new mindset coming your way. This just in, clear and bright. New perspective, new life. Breaking news from William Rochelle.